Okay, today is Saturday, October 12th, and today I learned about how you need to have self-control when you are thinking about things. So there are two examples that I have of this. The first, more exciting example is that today I actually got a new phone. Okay? So previously I had been using this really old iPhone 6S, and it has like 16 gigabytes of storage. It's just kind of a pain in the butt, but it it wasn't a real, I didn't have like cellular or anything. It's just Wi-Fi only. But today, I got an actual phone, and I was very fortunate enough to get a new iPhone 15, which is really nice, right? It's a very big upgrade. But basically, I have to make sure that obviously, when I get a new phone, I want to make sure that I'm not having 6-hour screen time, because this basically has the same functionality, this phone, and I have a less than 4-hour screen time, and I want to keep that. I want to slowly be decreasing that more and more, but I want to make sure that even though it's a nicer phone, I'm not using it more. So that is the first thing that has to do with self-control. I need to be thinking in a self-controlled way. When I am thinking about using my phone, I want to make sure I am self-controlled in my usage and not being so, not overusing it and not having such a big screen time, right? So, that's the first thing, the first example of having self-control when you're thinking about things. The second example, which I think I'm going to talk about more, is self-control when you're thinking about things. And I guess this relates again to thinking logically, which is something I've talked about a lot, just thinking logically about things. But my dad, he's a doctor, and basically he was talking to a patient, and basically what I wanted to say was that he said, when he was talking about this, he said she was allowing her worldviews to determine her thinking and determine things that are objectively backed by data. So basically, I just want to say that when you're thinking about something and it is an objective matter, things that can be backed by data and things that can be logically thought about and objectively thought about, don't let what you want to be true cover up what is actually true. Don't let what you want to be true cover up what is actually true. Think logically. I've talked about this so much, about thinking logically. Think logically. Think in terms of objective data, and think about, even if it's a subjective matter, try to be as objective as possible and try to be as data-backed as possible. When you're just thinking about anything, about any problem, any situation, be as objective as you can and think in a more data-backed, science-backed way, because a lot of, if you think in objectives, then the subjective things become a lot less and a lot more manageable. So in objective and subjective matters, try to use as much objective information as possible when you're thinking about those things. Like for me, I'm a Christian, right? And for me, my objective source, at least one of my objective sources, is the Bible, right? That is one of my objective sources. And so when I'm thinking about things, I will try to think, how can I use what I know from the Bible to apply to this situation and to make it a bit of an easier situation. So this is just one tool to breaking down problems. And when you have a problem, think logically, think objectively, right? So this is just one tool for breaking down problems. There are lots of different ways to break down a problem, break it down into its constituent parts and all its different characteristics. But when you're examining it, try to examine it in an objective way and in a way where you're actually using objective data that you know, or something that you believe in really strongly. Now, when you're talking about things that you believe in very strongly, sometimes those are not objective. It's hard to distinguish between something that you believe in really strongly and something that is objective, because I believe in really, really strongly, I believe in the Bible and in Christianity. I believe that really strongly. But other people would say that is not objective, but I feel like it's objective. So it's hard to distinguish between those things. But just make sure that if you're with someone else, if you're trying to solve a problem with someone else who maybe has different worldviews than you, then definitely keep your worldviews in mind and keep those objective truths in your mind or objective beliefs in your mind, but try to be as inclusive as possible and try to just include the most amount of generally objective data as possible. Now, obviously, like, I believe in the Bible or whatever, so I'm trying to apply that to like everything, every aspect of my life. So it's hard to do that. But I guess what I'm just trying to say is to apply objective data. This is just one tool to breaking down problems, analyze it with an objective truth and objective data mindset. So how I'm going to apply this to my reducing my screen time, what is something objective about using my phone? The screen time usage, like that is something that is super objective. That is objective data, how much I am using my phone. So when I think about how do I want to reduce my screen time, let me look at the data. What am I using the most? What apps am I using the most? So I'm using the objective data of my screen time to reduce it. So yeah, I guess this goes back to being resourceful. I think it is very important to be resourceful. And when you have data available to you, use it. Because other people might not have that same data available to you, to them, and it is very helpful. It could be more helpful than you think. So I guess my ultimate action point is that when you're solving problems, use the objective data and use the data that you have and try to find more data points that might not necessarily be right in front of you. So maybe some data that I have right in front of me for this is like the amount of time that I'm spending, right? How long am I looking at this? But maybe a data point that's not necessarily on here is a data point like, a data point like my emotions. Like when maybe a certain data point is whenever I am on my phone, I feel bad about myself. Like that's not a data point in here, but I notice that whenever I'm on my phone, I feel really bad. So that's something I can use to help me reduce my screen time and help me to fix some problem with my screen time. Now, I'm not saying that that is true because it's not, but I'm just using that as an example. There is data that is right in front of you that you need to be using, and there is data that is not in front of you that you need to be looking for just in case it could be solving the problem that you have right now. So my ultimate action point is when you're solving problems, use data. Use objective data and use measurables. Measurables are so important for accomplishing your goals, and they're a lot more helpful than you think. Once you start using them, you can't stop. So use data, use measurables because they can help you achieve your goals and they can help you solve problems. So yeah, that is what I have to say today. If you want to see more videos like these, then definitely subscribe because I'm posting every single day videos talking about what I learned today and how I'm trying to implement it into my life and how you guys can implement it into yours. So if you want to see those kinds of videos, then definitely subscribe. And upcoming, hopefully in tomorrow or in the next couple videos, I will be using this as my camera, so the quality will be improved. We are slowly improving 1% each video, so this is going to be a big upgrade for my camera because right now I'm basically just using a webcam, which is not the best. But yeah, the video quality will be significantly improved in the next few videos, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you stay subscribed, then I'll see you in tomorrow's video.
Bye.